I'm Laura Diorio at the Journal House here with Minute Media President Rich Routman and Grand Slam champion Sloane Stevens. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We're here talking about market trends this week at Cannes Lions. So tell me, how do you feel like your creative team has leveraged the ups and downs of the market?
I think Cannes is really about what you're doing going forward. And the creative team on our side is thinking about predominantly new experiential platforms, things that we can do to not just reinvent the brand, but also to focus on areas of the market that we're investing in, new growth opportunities for both us and our customer base. So all the great ideas that come up, they don't come from me, they come from our creative team. So at the end of the day, it's pushing out that messaging in the appropriate fashion.
And Sloane, you are heavily involved in the business of sports. So tell me, what are you seeing this week at Cannes Lion?
Oh, there's so much. This is my first Cannes Lion, so to be able to experience it is incredible. But I do think that, especially in women's sports, there's so many people pushing it and just invested in sports. So it's nice to see everyone come together and just try to find collectively ways to push the sport forward.
And how do you feel like Sports Illustrated is really contributing in that way?
Well, we have a great event coming this year. We're excited about the SI Women's Games. It's been 18 months in development, so these things take a lot of time and planning. And for us, it's getting a chance to cultivate that with the community, talking about it a little bit more since we've been relatively quiet about it leading up to this point, and further the relationships, not just the athletes that we work with, but also with the brand partners.
Yeah, women's sports has been in such a conversation at this point the last couple of years. So what do you feel like is different this year?
There's so many things different, but I am competing in the SI Women's Games, which is really exciting. But I do think that people are more invested. They're watching. They're actually interested in what's going on, and they're interested in the people. They're interested in the storylines, and I think that's pushing the game forward. But I also think that when you're interested in something, you find ways to be more involved. And I think now people like Rich and all of these brands are actually putting their money where their mouth is and investing in things that we typically weren't seeing before. That being sports teams as a whole, that being female athletes as singular, independent athletes, whatever it is. So I think that's pushing the entire movement of women's sports forward.
You feel you go where the audiences go, you go where the consumers go, and clearly that's in women's sports.
It is, but at the same time, I think we're barely at the 50-yard line. And so as much as the women's sports growth is too big to ignore, I still think the ball's on this side of the field, and there's a lot more growth that we're going to see from the space. I think the brand support has been great, but it could be bigger. And I think it's incumbent on the industry and people like us to build these new events and to take a risk and to get out there with new opportunities for the industry at large. And hopefully over time they continue to cultivate the community in a wider way.
This partnership seems really strong. It seems like you guys have a very genuine thing going here as well.
We're really lucky to have folks like Sloane participating with us. I think SI has been able to develop great relationships with athletes over a very long period of time. So when we put new platforms like this together, the privilege of being able to work with Sloane has been great.
And Sloane, with your momentum, what are you most excited about this year?
Oh, in life, just everything.
Yeah, personally.
Everything, so many things. I recently launched a body care line called Dock & Glow, so I'm doing that. I run a foundation. We're 12 years in, so that's exciting. And I'm currently injured, so I'm getting to do all of those things, which is really nice. I haven't picked up a tennis racket in like 6 weeks, so it's like the second time in my life that's ever happened to me. So just enjoying life and hanging out with Rich.
Yeah, we've been spending a lot of time together. It's been really enjoyable.
You're an athlete in every aspect of your life. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.